You're welcome to the Policy Council. My name is Okwemi Agbaje. In this edition, we'll talk about central business districts. I have a guest from the Lagos State Government who knows what a central business district is and wants to position Lagos Island local government or Lagos Island area as a world-class CBD. Enjoy the program. You're welcome back. It's still the Policy Council, and my guest is a lawyer. She's an insurance person. She was vice chairman of a leading insurance brokerage firm. She's a politician. She's been chairman of Lagos Island local government, but now she's the special advisor to the Lagos State Governor on central business districts. Mrs. Dele Disu, you're welcome to the Policy Council.
Good morning, Yemi. How are you?
Fine, thank you. You're welcome. Now, one of the things I should start with is how did you get into politics? With due respect, your profile of people have not typically gone into politics. Why did you want to join politics?
Oh, it's a long story. I joined politics by accident, really. As you said, or as you believe, my profile are not people that go into politics. But then I can say that necessity is always the mother of invention. Lagos Island is, I can say, my own territory. Born and bred there, lived there, worked there. And it was during the time of working that one noticed all sorts of challenges. And these challenges, well, normal challenges all over Lagos State, all over Nigeria. But then when you are neck deep in a situation, I think it's normal for you to think, how do we get out of it? In this case, the usual story: traffic, chaos, disorder, power supply problems, and everything that was contrary to a business-friendly environment. And if I remember rightly, there was a group of other stakeholders in Lagos Island, and we formed ourselves into a group.
That was LIMG?
Yes. It was actually the Lagos Island Millennium Group on the Environment. And I cannot say we were frustrated, but we were a bit baffled that is this the way we're going to continue? How our business is going to run successfully? Some of us, incidentally, were also landlords. Some of these buildings were owned by some of us in the LIMG group. And we happened to pay frequent visits to the chairman, the then chairman of the Lagos Island local government. For some reason or the other, either we had traders in front of our premises, or we saw some, what we call key clams, springing up in the middle of nowhere. And we thought the best way was to put a hands-on, hands-on effect onto this. So we used to visit the local government's chairman. And along the way we thought, if he can be, and he's not even, a well-heeled stakeholder, why not
one of you?
Exactly. Why can one of us not be? So that's how the story started. So it was an accident, really. And
you became chairman of Lagos Island local government.
Yes.
How was that experience?
Well, to be frank, if I had seen a video of what
you were going to encounter,
maybe I would have developed cold feet. But again, if you put your hands on the plow, you don't look back. It was a very positive experience. Very, very positive. It formed a very important part of my life. And I believe that I'm in a position even to impact on future generations.
And indeed, that job was probably the connection between that led to your current position as special advisor to the governor on central business districts.
Well, maybe. I don't know.
But essentially, you are managing the same, a similar portfolio.
Yes. I'm managing a similar portfolio. It seems that Lagos Island is the recurring decimal.
Decimal in both of those.
Yes.
And indeed, let me backtrack. You mentioned that you grew up, born and bred there. How was it at the time? How was Lagos Island at the time you were growing up in it? And how did seeing the confusion that later emerged influence your getting involved in politics?
How was Lagos Island at the time I was growing up? There was one specific incident that I can always remember is that the gutters, the drainages. I remember when there was rain and we were walking along, we would make these paper boats and throw them in the gutters, and they would sail through. They would flow. That suddenly disappeared. Security developed a K-leg. You couldn't actually walk from one end of the city or one end of the island to the other without encountering all kinds of security.
And you were from fairly wealthy background, so you if anybody was going to be threatened or uncomfortable living in Lagos Island, the way we think of it today, you would have been, but you could walk across the territory.
Yes. I don't think, in those days, I don't think there was a divide between wealthy and non-wealthy. It was a pleasant environment. We all went around in buses, even though, as you said, well, wealthy background, as you put it, even though there were cars at home, but we were free to move around. Transportation was, very easy. And school life was such that there was so much interaction between us. And I also remember the hospitals. They were easy to access.
So you went to those public hospitals?
Yes, General Hospital. I remember, visits to Massey with my my mother and things like that. And everything was, quite...
Excellent. Okay, so let's take a short time out. I'm having this deliberately nostalgic conversation with Mrs. Denny Disu. She's special advisor to the Lagos State Governor on central business districts. Next, we'll talk about what this whole idea of central business districts are. We'll be right back. You're welcome back. It's the Policy Council. My guest is the special advisor to the Lagos State Governor on central business districts, Mrs. Denny Disu. Mrs. Disu, let's come to this issue of central business district. What is a central business district?
Central business district is the focal point of a city. There are two types of central business districts. There are the ones that are natural, ones that are designed. But two or three, common characteristics. Focal point means it's the busiest area. There's usually density in population. It might not be stagnant population, but there's
migrants
coming in. There's density population. There's usually traffic congestion. You, in the modern central business districts, have high-rise buildings. And it's also a transport hub. It's also the epitome of commercial activity.
So it's usually a financial district,
financial
business district.
Business, yes. And most of the central business districts that easily comes to mind, London, Sydney, there's usually a waterfront, Lagos, Lagos Island. So that is your central business district. I mentioned natural and designed. Natural business, central business district springs up maybe from, an activity of business market activities. Usually a lot of little markets spring up. And there you have the central business district. Or where, for example, like in Lagos Island, it automatically becomes a financial district. So that is a natural central business district. And then there are those that are designed. You decide that this is where we want a central business district. And
maybe Abuja.
Yes,
that part.
Yes. For example, Mushi in Lagos is a central business district. Believe it or not, even though it's quite not what you would.
Chaotic.
Well, active.
So what's the role of your so what you've described easily just explains why Lagos Island in particular it looks like both a natural central business district, and then maybe we did some things to even further reinforce that by putting central bank and things like that there. So what does your office do in relation to the central business district?
My office is many faceted, in the sense that it has to relate to all the active arms of government: physical planning, ministry, environment, transport. That's because, as you know, because of the density of population, there's an issue of environmental challenges. Because of the residential and the high rise, there's an issue of planning so that there's no abuse. And also that it's a transport hub.
Means there's some interaction with the Ministry of Transport.
Yes, there's some interaction with the Ministry of Transport. So it's like being a liaison and making sure that the central business district works well. An area that cannot be overlooked is also the issue of the youths, what are termed miscreants. They are also stakeholders. And so one has to engage them. Whilst you're trying to keep the environment clean and in order, whilst you're trying to make sure there's good traffic management, and whilst you're also trying to make sure that each stakeholder is, you know, in his own space and not overriding the other. You also have to think of them as integral stakeholders and try to engage them and keep them occupied.
Excellent. You mentioned Mushin is a CBD.
Yes.
Are there others? Which other CBDs would you, central business districts, would you point to in Lagos? I know the part of the Alausa side there's a place that used to be called CBD.
Yes, Alausa is a central
business district.
You have Surulere as well. Yes, and even the Lekki Free Trade Zone can be described
as a central
business district.
Does the office handle all of this, or is it restricted to the Lagos Island CBD?
For now, you know, Lagos Island CBD is actually the most challenging. You cannot compare Surulere or even the Alausa one with what obtains in Lagos Island. And we're trying to develop a template, a perfect template that can be replicated in all the other central business districts. So once you get it right,
in Lagos
then it's a free ride. Yes.
Excellent. Let's take another time out. We're understanding this phenomenon called central business districts, according to Mrs. Dele Disu, whose job it is to make sure they work in Lagos State. We'll be right back.
My name is Femi Durojai. Welcome to the new Lagos, where things are improving every day. I work on the island and live on the mainland, but that's no longer a problem. With improved roads, I get to work faster. Sometimes I even leave my car and use the BRT bus, which is comfortable, fast, efficient, and reliable. After a hard day's work, the nights and evenings are even more fun. The streets are better lit, and the city is more secure. So I can catch my phone in peace. I pay my taxes because I want to continue enjoying the good things a big modern city like our Lagos brings. So it's my taxes that makes them real. Have you paid your tax?
Pay your tax. It's your civic responsibility. It's your duty. It's the law.
You're welcome back. It's still the Policy Council, and I'm speaking with the Special Advisor to the Lagos State Governor of Central Business Districts, Mrs. Disu. Madam, let me ask you about clearly, I mean, I work out of your jurisdiction, the Central Business District, and many, at a point I would say, maybe not so much today as before, the Lagos Island became notorious for a variety of reasons. Security, area boys, street trading, traffic, everything. What are the critical challenges you have faced or you currently face in the CBD?
Well, the challenges that we are addressing are not that many, but they're impactful. First that comes to mind is the challenge of fire. There seems to be a lot of fire incidents in that dense area that you call the Lagos Island CBD. Man-made problems We've had one now, one major one every year since 20. We've had one 2011, 2012, 2013, and let's pray that we don't have a major one this year. But it's usually caused by abuse of the stakeholders, the illegal connections that goes on, illegal conversions of use. You're supposed to have an office space and you turn around and turn it into a warehouse, and then you store combustible materials in there. Rubber slippers, all these hair weaves that the traders bring in.
In one case, this Christmas explodes fireworks.
Oh yes, yes, fireworks. And this has constituted a major asset. So, you know, fire is a major challenge. But don't we say major challenge? Fire is one of the challenges. It cannot be major because we are on top of it. Building collapses. Yes, happens from time to time, and we are on top of it. I know that the Ministry of Physical Planning is doing a lot. Of course, this comes out of poor supervision from the developers themselves. They don't do what they're supposed to do, and of course the buildings come down.
How have you dealt with the two things that immediately come to my mind, which I would admit are maybe much better than they were before, but that's one, traffic, and then the so-called area boys. How have you dealt with those two issues?
Traffic is two-pronged. Traffic management, of course, LASMA is handling traffic, but the Central Business District has its own enforcement unit.